Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the GSL Team League. Right now we have Sculpt on a roll. TSL seems to have nothing to stop his reign of terror, and this is going to be so tough for TSL. I mean, TSL, their best player, what they sent out first, and he actually went down to Sculpt immediately. So TSL Revival, a Zerg player is coming off the bench to try and face off against Sculpt.
The map is a little bit weird. Usually most Zerg players agree that while Antigua is not the worst map for Zerg, they still don't like to play it against Terran because the 4th base is so hard to take. So seeing him pick Antigua is a little bit of a surprise. Antigua's not the worst map, as I already said, but still most Zerg players would not pick it if they have the choice.
We're going to get right into that game. Can Revival revive his team's chances? We're going to find out right now at the GSL Team League. All right, and over here at the left side of the map, thank you very much to the guy who tweeted me and told me that his name actually means the verb of how you make a sculpture.
And this also, Sculptor!
Go. That was Jumbleweeds. Thank you, Jumbleweeds. And I thought it was sculpt with a T at the end was the verb, but apparently it can also be sculpt. So you sculpt a sculpture. And over here at the right side of the map, he is the next hope for TSL.
TSL Revival!
And TSL really needs an epic revival right now. They're behind 3 games, and Sculpt does not seem to be stopping at anyone or anything. Every race he's taken out here.
We have another couple of funny pictures right now. One of the guys is like, hey, Goma, demand that Jakji plays a match or I want my money back.
That's funny. It's the same guy that wanted to see Lenok play yesterday and didn't get a chance.
Yeah, it's just really unfortunate for him. He comes to the studio in order to see some of his some of the most popular players to play, and he has a certain idea about who he wants to step up, but then in the end it's the other guys in the teams taking down most of the forces. So, well, we have the drone sneak into the main base, and as I already said, Antigua usually not a map where Zergs are too happy. It has a lot of features that make it not a bad map for Zerg per se, because you have just a huge area between the bases. You can rely on Ultralisks a lot more than on other maps. For example, especially on Antigua, Ultralisks are the better choice in my opinion, because Brood Lords are easily caught out of position when you attack with them, and you might end up losing all of them if the Terran player suddenly has some reinforcements that will snipe your anti-air.
Yeah,
but another reason... Sorry?
I was just going to say, that's usually what we see. We almost always see Ultras instead of Brood Lords on this map.
Another reason is, as soon as you take a 4th base and you probably even try to take a 5th base, it is just so hard to defend with Ultralisks because they are really slow. So you want to rely a lot more on ground units, you want to rely a lot more on Ling, Baneling, Mutalisk, for example, and later on transition into Ultralisk. So it's kind of something that it's really hard to defend if you are relying on Brood Lord solely. You need something that is fast enough to just bounce back between base to base in order to defend. So that's why most players choose to stay on the ground for a longer time.
And as we just saw with those stats on the bottom of your screen, it's actually an even win rate in Zerg versus Terran on this map. And Sculpt actually played on this map the other day. It was the last map that he played against Yu-Gi-Oh! And Yu-Gi-Oh!, a Zerg player from the Team Slayers, beat him on this map. So maybe they chose this map hoping it would be a bad luck map for Sculpt against Zerg, and that Revival could enact the same thing that Yu-Gi-Oh! did.
When I saw that he picked the map, I was curious if he's going to play some kind of all-in strategy. For example, if we would see a play with Roach Baneling, which is getting really, really popular against Terran, especially because Terran is usually taking a very 3rd as well. But so far it doesn't really look like Revival is going to do anything like it. He is still mining gas after he started his metabolic boost, but not enough to justify the assumption of him using a Roach Baneling. So I guess we'll see a macro game after all between those two.
Couple Hellions coming in here, and the thing that we almost always see on this map is the Zerg player just gets stuck up that ramp, and they have to wait until they get creep out and can move that Spinecrawler down the ramp until they can take their third, unless they decide to get roaches. But Zergs are, they like getting their drone count up better instead of spending the money on those roaches and end up delaying their third as a result. This is why we see Terrence get ahead oftentimes. Overlord scouting in here is going to get killed, but it's going to see the factory.
That's the Roach Warren, and we have, well, the attack is not too early, but it's rather early. I'm really surprised to... I'm a little bit curious what he's going to do. Is he really going to go for some true base mutalist play with a very early lair attack? A lot of players lately wait a little bit longer until they take full lair. They will start with the upgrades first and place down a macro hedge before they start with the lair. But, well, let's just see what he's up to. He already has the Roach Warren, but now the timing is already over where he can pressure with his Roaches, because we have the siege tanks being built, we have the siege tank upgrade researched, and as soon as the first tank is on the high ground, he has a really tough time busting into the main base with anything like Roaches. But, well, a strategy that I've seen lately, which was a little bit surprising, is I've seen a couple of the TSL players using Hydralisks again against Terran.
Yeah, that was a little bit strange. We got Hydraling yesterday,
which was really, really interesting. And I know that, of course, Revival and Symbol play a lot together. This might be something that they've been talking about. And, well, would be a long shot, but still something that I've seen a lot more often lately.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, though, Revival loves his Roach play. We almost always see him go Roaches versus Turn, and that's what we see him doing right now. He's getting the Roach speed, he's getting the attack upgrade for the Roaches, and this has always been kind of his thing, is the Roach play, and I'm not surprised to see that. Although he's getting only 5 or 6 Roaches and the Infestation Pit, so we may not see him stick with the Roach play, but the fact that he's getting the speed upgrade for them and the attack upgrade leads me to believe that he's probably going to get a lot of Roaches in the mid-game.
Yeah, definitely going for more Roach heavy play. I'm not 100% sure what he's up to. Roaches are not all that bad. The problem against Terran is that if you have a huge tank count in the Terran army and you try to attack with the Roaches, you need to make damn sure that those tanks are not sieged. As soon as you attack into sieged up tanks, your Roaches will just die within seconds. He needs to be very, very careful about it. There was one strategy that we've seen a while ago where the Zerg player would just research drop and speed for the Overlords and try to drop into the main base, because as you can see right now, the Terrans usually don't secure the main base all that much. They are just relying on the Zerg players attacking straight to that small gap between all 3 starting bases. Yeah, I'm a little curious to see what exactly he's up to.
And we do have that third orbital up, by the way, for Sculpt. He's going to go ahead and move it over to that third base. Again, pretty normal stuff that we see on this map. It's so easy for Terrans to get that third that we usually see them take it even earlier, actually. So Sculpt just wanted to play a little bit safely here.
The Overlord is dead.
A little later.
Spread a little bit of creep, though. Won't delay the expansion to third base by a lot, but I'll still
spread that creep with its dying breath. Well, actually, I don't know if Overlords breathe. So, with its dying...
What was that?
That was an Overlord sound. That's what Overlords sound like when they breathe.
That was one gay Overlord.
Add-on complete.
100 supply against 91. There's the Overlord speed, by the way. And Combat Shield coming up, as well as Stim. +1/+1. One Viking trying to hunt down a bunch of Overlords, and yeah, they surely need Stim. Here's the Tier 3 tackle as well. No 4th base just yet, but a very good creep spread for our TSL player, for Revival. Going straight for the... Hey, he's really going straight for the Spire.
Yep, Hive is going up as well, so he may be going just straight to
4th
Broodlords.
base.
And yeah, that's really interesting. He's getting the 1/1 as well on his ground units. A little bit late. Burrow going.
We've seen a couple of...
I don't know if he has a Baneling Nest, actually.
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
We've seen a couple of games where Broodlords with a nice timing were still effective on Antigua, but as I mentioned, I'm not a huge fan. So let's just see how Sculpt is going to deal with it as soon as the Greater Spire starts. I expect him to scout pretty soon. He knows No, he doesn't know about the hive tech just yet.
I like those Vikings are sitting there. They're like, come on, use your fungal on me, really. So that would be kind of a waste of a fungal at this point. So, but he doesn't fall for it. Sometimes I see Zerg players will fungal single units like that. It's just a little bit of a waste. You need those fungals for large groups of Marines. And it looks like the Terran is moving out. Sculpt pushing out onto the map. He's only got 4 siege tanks there, and yeah, as soon as the Spire and the Hive finish, the Greater Spire goes up. And he's going to have to stop this push, though. Broodlords will not be out in time to stop this, taking out his 4th base. He's opted to take the 4th in the middle, which is really silly against Terran, to be honest with you, because it's so hard to defend once the Terran gets on that high ground.
Yeah, exactly. He just can't defend it if Sculpt plays that well, and I think he will. The 4th base is going to die. He's taking another 4th now, at the top left. And the units of Revival going for the run-by.
Going for the counter-attack as his 4th base gets taken out. He runs in with a lot of Zerglings here. Roaches as well, but the Infestor's trailing behind. He's doing some damage here, takes out the bunker. Will he actually get a significant amount of damage done, though? He's actually probably going to go into the 3rd base with those Infestors. He could plant down mass infested Terrans and try and kill the orbital.
That is really something that I did not expect to happen. Sculpt a little bit careless. He should have realized that there was danger of an attempted run-by, but he did not scout very well with his scans, and therefore he had no idea about the positioning of his opponent's units.
Look at that fungal.
Wow.
And only 1 medevac healing means that he can actually take out those units. Oh, he knows the Infestors are there. Oh, I thought he was going to scan and kill the Infestors. There he does.
The 4th base is down for Revival, but still the damage at the 3rd base should not have happened. There's another scan revealing Infestors. They are dead and gone, but still very, very nice attack, killing 13 SCVs and huge chunks of the army. Revival is now ahead in supply, already has his Corruptors. He has the minerals and the gas as well to start with his Broodlords. They have been scouted by the 1 drop at the top right. Not achieving a lot, being taken out by the Queen.
There we go, 7 Broodlords morphing, more Corruptors being produced as well. And he's gotten his 4th base up at the top left as well during all of that, so he's actually going to be in pretty good shape. He's going to need to stop the 4th base from going up in the middle for the Terran player. Once he gets the planetary there in the middle, and siege tanks around it, and siege tanks on the high ground, it's going to be so hard to break him. But Broodlords are perfect for that.
We have a lot of Vikings now being built. I'm not sure, though, if it's going to be enough. I would really like him to build a Ghost Academy now. That's the one thing that I kind of miss, but, well, he lost a little bit of income, a couple of SCVs, and he doesn't really have... There it is. That's the Ghost Academy. A little bit too late.
He must have heard you. Looks like these tanks are going to be under attack. 1 goes down immediately to that 9 Broodlord Air Force.
He retreats. He knows fully well that he can't stop it now. He needs to have a couple of additional units. Only 3 Vikings. That's not enough. He needs to wait.
You see those random 2 units on the ridge?
Yeah.
That was funny. Yeah, he is in a little bit of trouble. Sculpt is being pushed on right now by these Broodlords. Now he's got to be so careful with those Broodlords. He's got the Infestors there to protect them, but there's only 2 Vikings. He needs to get some fungals down on those Vikings. Use the fungals on the Marines instead. Zerglings wiping out the Marines. He actually, if he has more reinforcements, he does have some more Zerglings coming in. The Broodlords are eventually going to die to these Vikings, though, so this is not going to kill him. He's going to be forced to retreat.
Yes, this is the big problem. You can't retreat with Broodlords. At the top, you have another drop trying to take down the 4th, but this is exactly the problem that I've been talking about earlier. Broodlords are just lost after a while. You can't retreat with them. Once they are there, they can't run away, and that's the huge problem that Revival is facing now, and which is why he just lost all of his Broodlords. He couldn't escape.
Well, he also didn't have any Corruptors with that army, and he didn't have enough Infestors to support the Broodlords. If he'd had a little bit more of each of those, I think he would have been okay.
Now he's switching to Ultralus, but it's already, well, too late in my opinion. If Sculpt is able to apply the same kind of pressure play that he used against Marway, then TSL Revival will be in quite a lot of trouble.
Here he is pushing in. He's got the supply lead. He doesn't have that 4th base, though. So this is kind of all in for Sculpt, but he's moving into the natural expansion of Revival. Fungals goes off. Might be enough to stop it. No, he doesn't have the 2nd fungal to kill all those Marines. Zerglings are coming in the back. This could be the end for Revival.
Very well played by Scalp, and he's already building 9 additional Marines, plus 3 is about to finish. There are the reinforcements. He can take a 4th now if he pleases to do so. We don't have Adrenal Glance just yet. +2/+2 is not done for our Zerg player, while the Terran already has both upgrades.
Oh, he's targeting down the Greater Spire.
The Greater Spire, and the Ultimus Cavern will probably die as well. Very nice attack by Scalp.
Wait.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, is
this guy.
He actually saves his Greater Spire barely there.
Yeah,
and
he's not building any more Broodlords.
Yeah, he doesn't actually have the money to build the Broodlords though, because he's just lost his 3rd. He lost drones at his 4th. You can see there's actually some units. No, maybe not, but there was a drop earlier at the 4th that he lost. His 3rd is dead. His natural is dead. This is pretty much over for TSL Revival. NS Hoso Skull has taken out 4 opponents, including TSL Bolt. He is on a rampage. I owe this guy an apology. GG!
Scalp is on a killing spree now, and when the next player has to be Symbol. The next player has to be Symbol, but this is so disappointing now for TSL. They are down 4-0. If somebody would have told me before the clan was started that Scalp is going to take 4 games in a row, I would have bet money on him being wrong. But this guy is just looking so strong. He must be so happy with his performance today.
Yeah, wow. Sculp is really showing me what he's made of today. I did not have, like I said before, I had a really bad impression of him from his Code A games. He just really fell apart, could not micro or multitask at all, but he is showing super, super strong play today. Just taking out everything TSL sends at him, even taking out Pult, although, mech versus bio. Well, that's a whole other story, but wow, Sculp is on a rampage.
Yeah, he definitely is.
He is just dominating the TSL team.
But that's also one of the things. Why pick Antigua? Why go for the Broodlords? That attack at the 3rd base was really nice, and he was able to throw him a little bit back. The run by definitely posed a threat to Scalp. He dealt with it. He didn't lose too many SCVs. He lost like 10, 11, 12, something around those lines, but still. It was just a huge problem for Scalp, and the army composition that he used was really nothing that I would have liked him to do. Yeah, later he switched to Ultralisks, and at that point in time it was already too late.
Yeah, well, he'd only forced like 6 Vikings is the thing, so the Ultralisk switch wasn't going to help him a ton anyway. But yeah, I mean, I really think it just comes down to the fact that he didn't support his Broodlords. He had a good chunk of Broodlords. He was able to force the Unsiege. He was able to get all the way up into his expansion. He was able to kill a lot of stuff. But then he only had 4 Infestors. He only had 4 Fungals. He didn't have any Corruptors to try and support the Broodlords at all. So he was forced to just send everything in. What you want to do is have the Broodlords slowly creep forward and keep your Lings and Infestors back as support. So when the Marines stem forward, you can kill the Marines. But instead, he was like, oh, well, my Broodlords are dying anyways. I'm just going to attack here. And he just threw everything in there, wasted his Fungals on some Marines, and everything died. And then the Vikings were like, oh, sweet, free Broodlords. So just didn't control that last crucial battle very well.
Symbol of hope.
Will it be? It is going to be Shine, actually coming out as the last player for TSL.
Okay, now I'm really baffled.
Well,
this is just one of these what the fuck moments I'm having right now. Why not use Symbol? That doesn't make any sense at all. I know for a fact that Symbol was training with Major just yesterday, and he won the Iron Squid qualifier. He's in such a good shape lately. Why not use Symbol?
Well, he's relatively untested. I mean, Major says he's good. He won a qualifier.
He is good. He is really in a good shape right now. He's definitely, don't get me wrong, Shine is not bad by any means, but Symbol is a lot better than Shine.
Okay, well, apparently the TSO coach thinks differently.
Yeah, apparently he does. I mean, he must have a reason. If he thinks that Shine is up to the task of beating the entire team, that might well be. I'm a little bit baffled,
let's face it, neither Shine nor Symbol has really shown some, the best results. We haven't seen true results out of either of them yet, so it's hard to tell exactly where either of them is. Shine actually has a little bit more experience in tournament games, so although he hasn't performed too well. We're going to find out, though. Shine is a Zerg player. They're going to send him out there against Sculp. And I don't know if he's going to be able to stop Sculp here.
Entombed Valley is going to be the map.
Actually, I guess Shine, I can't really find much on Shine either, so who knows? Anyway, the internal rankings of the team, the coach knows who is best and who has a good game, but they've already used everyone up against Sculp, so I don't know what Shine's going to be able to bring against us. He is the last hope. It's his time to shine. Will he be able to do it? We're going to find out right now.